Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. In this video I'm going to show you how to get started with Adobe Creative Cloud on your computer at home. So what you want to start by doing is go to creativecloud.adobe.com and it will bring you to this page. And so you actually want to go right to download Creative Cloud. And you'll see it is actually going to automatically install it. Okay, and then once it's finished installing, I just click the arrow here and show in folder, and you can see it's in my downloads folder, so I'm going to go ahead and double click to install it. Okay, so now you need to sign in. It's important to note that you need to use your school email address for this, so it should be your email at naschools.net. And another important thing is don't enter it into this box here. It doesn't work if you do that. Make sure to press continue with Google. Okay. And it's going to open up a new tab and it's going to prompt me to sign in. So I'll enter my school email. And now it says all set and I can close this tab. So I'm going to do exactly that. And now I need to start installing. While this is installing, and you can see it does take a while, so it says 16 to 18 minutes left here. One thing I did forget to mention earlier is you can't download the Adobe apps onto your Chromebooks. So you need to use a Windows computer or a Mac to do this. Okay, so here we are. Adobe Creative Cloud Desktop finally finished installing. So if you've never used this before, I recommend taking the tour, but I'm also going to kind of go through it right now, so feel free to press skip as well. So here you are. This is your kind of your desktop for Creative Cloud. You should see that you're signed in. If not, make sure to sign in. So right here we see we have our apps right here. So you can scroll through and take a look at all the apps you can install. There's quite a lot of them. So let's say I want to install Adobe Photoshop, and it's really simple. I just have to click install and it's going to start, and you can see it's starting to install. Installing these programs does take a while. They're quite large files to install to your computer. So while that's installing, I'll talk about a couple other things. First of all, it's important to make sure that your computer can actually run this software. So if you can just search for Adobe, let's say Illustrator, computer requirements. And you should find a link. Okay, minimum system requirements. So let's see what it says. Okay, so processor. It needs an Intel processor. Alright, so this computer is i7, so that's pretty good. i5, Intel Core i5 will also be pretty good. Core i3, you might start experiencing some lag, but it should be fine. You need to have at least Windows 7, and Windows 10 of course works. And you need to have 2 gigabytes of RAM, okay, 4 recommended. Most computers have at least 4, so you should be good there. And to actually install it, it takes up 2 gigabytes of drive space. So if you want to check how much storage you have on your computer, just go to the File Explorer and click on this PC, and then look for local disk. So I can see that I have 142 gigabytes free of 464. So I have plenty of space to install this. And you also want to make sure that there's plenty of extra space accounted for in there to store all your files for Photoshop and Illustrator and whatnot, because they can get quite large, especially video editing. So I should be good. So yes, make sure to check your minimum system requirements before you install a program. Alright, and we can still see that this is installing. So I'll show you some other things. So again, we click on apps here, all apps, and we can see the apps that are available to install for desktop. If we go to mobile, there's actually a couple apps like Illustrator Draw. People really like that, especially if you have an iPad. You can use the Apple Pencil and draw directly on there and then open it up on your desktop computer. So lots of mobile programs you can check out. And there's also some web-based programs here. So another useful feature of your Creative Cloud subscription is actually the online portion to it. So again, I just went to creativecloud.adobe.com and I signed into my account. Remember to press continue with Google and not sign in using that text box where you put your email. So remember, press continue with Google. Again, you can see your apps here as well on the online version. But what's nice is one thing that you don't have with the desktop software is there's actually a Learn tab. So let's say I wanted to learn, for example, I don't know how to use Adobe InDesign. So if I wanted to learn about that, I could click on InDesign to filter by the app, and then it's going to list out a bunch of tutorials that I can do. And if I do know how to use it, I can press Experience, and I can see some more experienced and challenging tutorials that I could follow along with. So this will take a while to install, as with all these programs. It's only at 22%. So I'll come back and start filming once that finishes installing. Okay, so here we are, Photoshop finished installing. So the way that you can do this is when you log on to your computer, you can either open up the Creative Cloud app on your desktop, or you can just go right into an app as you normally would. But if you open it this way, then you can press open from here. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. I hope this was helpful to you for getting started with Adobe Creative Cloud on your computer at home. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or your graphic design teacher. Thanks.